Hello and welcome to another playthrough of Marvel Champions the card game. Today we're going to be continuing our Sinister Motives campaign. So, last time we went up against Sandman using Ghost Spider, and for scenario 2 it's going to be Venom. So we'll go ahead and read this little comic they got here. You kidding me? I'm not telling you twerps who my employer is or what they want. What, William? We already know. You know about Osborn? I can't believe that actually worked. Yeah, thanks for the intel, Sandman. Alright, and then they swing away. Outside Oscorp. Flip. Leave us alone. Oh, so scenario 2 is Venom. Phew, that was close. Blinded by rage, Venom charges at you, shouting something or other about how you won't capture him again. Every attempt you make to repel the onslaught is ultimately in vain, enraging him further with each hit, and the brutality of his blitz starts to overwhelm you. However, from high atop Oscorp, you see an old bell tower not too far away. If you can lure Venom in that direction, which shouldn't be hard given his frenzied fervor, you may be able to use the bell's sonic vibrations to your advantage. So we have, we just used everything for standard mode. So we have main scheme, leave us alone, Venom, down to earth, symbiotic strength, and standard encounter sets. And now we have the public outcry back, and smear campaign shuffled in. Then we have one community service shuffled in. Alright, and then we followed setup instructions. So we have our propulsion gauntlet, and there is an Oscorp tech in the encounter set. So now we can continue on. So for Venom, scheme of 1, attack of 2. Toughness, this character enters play with the tough status card, so that's why we have that on there. And then Vengeance, force response. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place one face down boost card on your identity. So every time we damage him, we're going to be getting a boost card. So the main scheme, leave us alone. 1A. So you put the bell tower environment into play, quiet side face up. So this, then you go to 1B. Upon spotting you, Venom goes into a frenzy, attacking you relentlessly and causing havoc around the city. So force interrupt. When Venom activates against you, move each face down boost card from your identity to Venom. So this is going to start with 2 per player, so just 2, and then every turn is going to get 1 threat added to it. Once it gets to 10, we'll lose the game. So go ahead and add the 2 there. And then for the bell tower, we are on the quiet side right now. If there are at least 3 chime counters here, flip this card. When any amount of damage will be dealt to Venom by an attack, you may place that many chime counters here instead. So you have to attack to get chime counters to flip it. And then public outcry, I'll read that again. It's going to be with us throughout this campaign. Victory 1, so uses 2 notoriety counters. And then after a minion or side scheme is defeated, remove 1 notoriety counter from here. So we're going to have to do 2 minions or side schemes, and it has an acceleration icon while it's out to get rid of that and add it to the victory display. So Ghost Spider, when we start is Gwen Stacy. She has a recovery of 3, and choose to either shuffle a ticket to the multiverse from your discard pile into your deck or ready George Stacy. She can do that once per round. Hand size of 6 and 10 hit points. So we have our hit points set. His are set to 17, already set. Ghost Spider has a thwart of 1, attack of 2, 3 defense, and dizzying reflexes. Response after you resolve an interrupt or responsibility on an event, ready Ghost Spider. Limit once per phase. And hand size of 5 on this side. And our shield tech that we chose was Propulsion Gauntlet. At the end of last campaign, we earned this. So it's set up so it comes out automatically in permanent. Hero action, exhaust Propulsion Gauntlet, and take 2 indirect damage to ready your hero. So we can do that as when we're on our hero side at any time. So we'll go ahead and draw our 6 cards and get started. Drawing What Doesn't Kill Me, Spider-Man, Hobby Brown, Jump Flip, Energy, Web Bracelet, and Red Bracelet. Okay, so I think I'm just going to actually just keep my cards, and I'll flip over to Ghost Spider, and then I'm going to pay 2 to put in my Web Bracelet. So it's a hero response. After resolve an interrupt or responsibility on an event, exhaust Web Bracelet to draw 1 card. Max 1 per event. And then I'll pay 3 to put in Spider-Man Hobby Brown. So he has a Thwart of 2, attack of 1, 3 health. Play only if you control a Web Warrior, which we do. As an interrupt, when Spider-Man leaves play, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, deal damage to the villain equal to the number of boost icons discarded this way. So we will attack for 1, just to get rid of the tough. And then I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2. But instead of damage, I'm going to place that many chime counters here. So 2 chime counters. And then I will exhaust this gauntlet to take 2 indirect damage and ready my hero. So 2 indirect damage. I'll put 1 on Hobby Brown, and I'll take 1 to Ghost Spider. And then I will attack for 2 more. Put 2 more chime counters here, which causes this to flip over. We'll see what it does. Increase all damage Venom takes by 1. If there are no chime counters here, flip this card. When a Venom's attack would deal any amount of damage to an identity, remove that many chime counters from here. For each chime counter removed this way, prevent 1 of that damage. Okay. So he can't really attack us while this is on ringing side. That's interesting. And we do 1 extra damage every time we deal damage to him. So we'll go ahead and draw. We'll ready up, ending our turn, and draw to our hand size of 5. So let's see what we got. A Phantom Flip, Jump Flip, Ghost Kick, Pirouette and Punch, and Silk. So we get 2 threat added here. Let's start the villain phase. He's going to attack. We will defend. Defensive 3. And I'll also use a Ghost Kick. So after a Ghost Spider uses a basic power, deal 6 damage to an enemy, max 1 per basic power use. So I defended. So it's going to deal 6 damage. Which is going to actually deal 7 damage to Venom. But he has to attack us first. So 2 plus a boost of 1. So we blocked all 3. And then since we attacked him back, we get dealt a boost card from his ability. After you attack and damage Venom with the card you control, place 1 face down boost card on your identity. So that's there for now. And then we will use, you have her ability and this ability. So after you resolve an interrupt or response, so that's a response. Ability on event, ready, go Spire. So she's readied. And then we will, after resolve an interrupt or response, ability on event, exhaust Web Bracelet, draw 1 card. So We'll draw a card, drawing Spider UK. Then we get an encounter card dealt to us. It says Surge, when revealed, give the villain one face down boost card. So he surges, and then he gets a boost card. We'll just put it on top of him. And it surges into Volunteer Work Side Scheme. You cannot thwart this scheme. Alter your action. Spend 2 resources of any type. Remove threat from this scheme equal to your alter ego's recovery. If your identity has the civilian trait, draw 1 card. Okay, so it's going to come in with 3 threat on it. So I will use Spider-Man Hobby Brown to thwart for 2. To remove 2 threat from here, which defeats him. And then interrupt with Spider-Man leaves play. Discard the top 3 cards in the encounter deck. Deal damage to the villain equal to the number of boost icons discarded this way. So 1, 2, 3. And there's no boost icons, so no damage. Okay, that wasn't ideal, but we will thwart for 1. Then I'm going to use the gauntlet to take 2 indirect damage, going down to 7 to ready up. Then I'll flip over, and I will do this. So alter your action, spend 2 resources of any type, remove threat from the scheme equal to your alter ego's recovery. If your identity has the civilian trait, draw a card. So I spend 2 resources. She has a recovery of 3, so that gets rid of that. And then that's going to remove 1 of these from here. And then we can go ahead and recover for 3. Bringing us back up to 10. Our max health. We'll ready up. I think I'm going to keep Phantom Flip and draw 5 new cards. So we drew Bait and Switch, another Phantom Flip, Jump Flip, Plan B, and Bait and Switch. So we get 2 threat added here. He's going to activate against us, so he's going to get this face down boost card, and then he has a scheme of 1, and then 1 more dealt to him. So it's going to be 3 boost cards. So this could be a lot. So it's going to be 4 plus 1, so 5 threat added to the main scheme here. And then we get an encounter card, and it is the Smear Campaign. If public outcry is in play, place 2 notoriety counters on it, then remove this card from the game. If public outcry is not in play, place 2 threat in the main scheme. So it is in play. So this is going to get removed, and it's going to get 2 more notoriety counters on it. We'll flip over, and I'm going to attack for 2, which does 3 damage instead. Bringing Venom down to 7. And then we get a face down boost card dealt to us. And then I will pay 2 to use Phantom Flip. So after Ghost Spider uses a basic power, remove 5 threat from a scheme. So I paid for that using those 2. Remove 5 threat. And then it is a response, so I can use her ability to ready, and then use this to draw a card. Drawing Across the Spider-Verse. Then I'm going to pay 2 to play Across the Spider-Verse. So max 1 per deck. Your action exhausts a Web Warrior card you control. Search your discard pile for a Web Warrior ally and put it into play. Then choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources of any type to repeat this ability. So I'm just going to do it the 1 time. So I get to search my discard pile for a Web Warrior ally and put it into play. And I'm going to choose Spider UK. So thwart of 1, attack of 2, 5 health. When Spider UK defends against an attack, deal damage to the attacking enemy equal to the number of Web Warrior cards you control. So we'll keep that there. Oh, and to use that, I had to exhaust the Web Warrior I control, so she's exhausted. But then he can go ahead and thwart for 1. No, I'll have him attack for 2. Even though he takes 2 damage. It does 3, because it's going to be an extra damage. But I'm going to get dealt a boost card. We'll go ahead and ready up. And then draw 4 more cards. I'm going to keep Phantom Flip again. And we're drawing Parental Guidance, Plan B, Strength, and Web Binding. So we get 2 threat added here. He's going to attack us. We're going to defend with Spider UK. And he's going to get these 2 boost cards plus another one. So it's going to be 2 plus 2 plus 1, so 5 damage. But he blocks it all, but there are 2 boost ability. If this activation is an attack, take 2 indirect damage. So I'll have to take that. And then this boost ability is going to reveal this card. So I think I take the 2 indirect damage. Which is going to be removing 2 chime counters. I believe indirect damage would still remove chime counters because it's coming from the attack. We'll play it that way. But anyways, we have 2 Web Warrior cards, so he's defeated, but has his interrupt. Deal damage to an attacking enemy equal to the number of Web Warrior cards you control. So it's going to be 2 plus 1. So it's going to be 3 damage to Venom. And then this is going to be revealed. It's attached to Venom, uses 2 rage counters. Venom's attacks gain overkill. Force interrupt after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack. Remove 1 rage counter from here. So now he has an attachment that gives him overkill. Alright. And we will take our encounter card, which is going to be a minion. It has guard and patrol. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot thwart the main scheme. So he has a scheme of 1, 2 attack, and 2 health. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2 with Ghost Spider to take out Enraged Symbiote. So he's taken out. That removes 1 of these notoriety counters. And then I can use my Phantom Flip after Ghost Spider uses a basic power, remove 5 threat from a scheme. So that's going to remove all this threat. And then we can use her ability, because that was a response to ready, and then also draw a card. Drawing Young Love. Pay 1 resource to play Plan B. So that is exhaust Plan B and discard 1 random card from your hand. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. You have 1 per player. So I will go ahead and use that. Since it's not an attack, it's just an action. I'm not going to get a face down boost card. So that discards my Web Binding. And it's going to deal 2 damage plus 1, but either it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to remove a rage counter. No, that actually says from an attack, so that doesn't remove a rage counter, but it does take him down to 0, which which causes Venom 2 to come out. And for that, he has toughness and steady. So scheme of 2, attack of 2, toughness steady. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the tooth and nail side scheme and put it into play. Okay. Then shuffle. And then vengeance. Force response. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place one face down boost card on your identity. And he has 18 hit points. Tough. He's at 18. We're going to have to look for tooth and nail side scheme. And we found it, and that does, it's a response. After Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove an equal amount of threat from here. It starts with 8 on it. So we'll put that right about there. I'll go ahead and attack just to get rid of the tough. And then I'm going to exhaust my gauntlet and take 2 damage to ready. And then I will attack again for 2 plus 1 extra from the bell tower. So 3 damage. I get dealt a boost card, and I get to remove one of these rage counters. And this removes an equal amount of threat because I dealt 3 damage, I removed 3 threat. Alright, I'll go ahead and ready up. Going into the villain phase. I'm going to discard Young Love and draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Getting Bane Switch, What Doesn't Kill Me, Return the Favor, Pirouette and Punch, and Web Binding. So we get 2 threat added here. Venom is going to try to attack us. We will play Web Binding. So it's when an enemy would activate, cancel that activation. If a minion's activation was canceled this way, deal 4 damage to enemies. But we're just going to cancel his attack. That is an interrupt on an event, so we can use that to draw a card. Draw and return the favor. And we get 2 encounter cards dealt to us because of this hazard icon. First one is Worried Father. Give to the Gwen Stacy player, search your deck, hand, discard pile, play area for George Stacy and set him aside. Attach this obligation to him. Exhaust Gwen Stacy to remove this obligation from the game and add George Stacy to your hand. I don't think we've seen him yet. There he is. So this is going to be out of play, attached to him. Second encounter card is an assault. So the villain attacks you. I'm just going to take it. So he's going to get this boost card, plus draw another one. And he has plus 1 attack. So that's 3, plus 2 boost cards. And they're both enraged symbiotes, so they get into play engaged with us. With guard and patrol. So we can't attack or remove threat. But it does do 2, 3 damage to us. Which actually we would just take 2 from there. So we only took 1 damage, and now this is back over to this side. First thing I'll do, attack for 2 to the enraged symbiote. And then that gets one of these off. And exhaust plan B to deal 2 damage to this one. We'll discard a random card from our hand. Discarding one of our return the favors. Take him out. So this is going to be added to the victory display. We'll just put that off to the side for now. We're going to take 2 indirect damage to ready our hero, going down to 4. And then, might be risky, but we're going to return the favor. It's a hero action. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a treachery. Reveal that treachery, then deal 5 damage to the villain. Oh, this goes here. So, looking for a treachery. Alright, for whom the bell tolls. When revealed, remove 2 chime counters from the bell tower. If the bell tower is on quiet side, take 1 damage. If it is on the ringing side, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. Alright. It's on the quiet side, so we're going to take 1 damage. And then we deal 5 damage to the villain, which we're just going to do as chime counters, which is going to flip this back over. And then we will attack for 2, which will really do 3. And it's going to remove the last counter from there, bringing him down to 12. And we also get a face down boost card dealt to us. And removes 3 from here. I think we're going to flip over. And ready up. We'll keep what doesn't kill me and draw 5 new cards. So we return the favor. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Genius, Ghost Kick, and Ghost Kick. We get 1 threat added to the main scheme. He's going to scheme for 2, plus that new boost card and the one that was attached to us. So that's going to be 2 plus 5, so that's 7. Alright, so that's 7 boosts. I don't think we can stop any of that. So that right there brings this up to 10, just like that. So looks like we lost against Venom, which is a bummer. So I'm going to have to go up against him again. Yeah. Alright, so that concludes this playthrough. I thought we were doing pretty well, and then that one scheme should have stayed on this side, because I could have prevented 5 of that damage, but that's okay. You live and you learn. So that concludes this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and join me next time when I try to take on Venom again. Have a great day.